So that shiny new game just came out, Agefield High, Rock the School, and you want to know if it's worth your time, right? Let's take a look at the game for some first impressions. Keep in mind this is not a full review, this is a quick look at the game. I played this game for 2.5 hours and I have some thoughts. This game is not Bully 2, and in fact, it's not even on par with Bully. It is very similar to Bully though. Think of it like a clone of Bully, with updated graphics on a modern game engine, but also being a bit worse in every single way. As of release on Steam, I'm seeing only a 23% rating for this game. I do think that's too low. I think this game is okay at best, but by no means is it a truly awful game. The negative reviews mention Bully a lot, performance issues, and various bugs. I noticed some things too, like the graphics. Before I started the game, I set it to 4K, but I failed to change the screen type to full screen, and I left it on windowed full screen. Despite me pressing apply, it wasn't actually applied. So for the majority of the time I played, I was on 1440p, and I was wondering why the graphics seemed a bit lower than usual. It still said 4K though, but it just didn't apply until I changed it to full screen. So towards the end of this video, you might see the game look a little bit better. Playing at 1440p though, I noticed noise and image stability issues. I was also using DLSS though. Once I changed it to 4K, the game really didn't look too bad. The characters are a whole different issue though. The worst thing about them is the facial animations. It's very unnatural and very stiff. It's just not good. As for the performance, I actually didn't have any issues with that. My 1% lows would dip kinda low sometimes, but overall it was mostly smooth. I also did not have any game-breaking bugs. Sometimes, after a cutscene, my character's legs would be a bit stretched out, but that was a non-issue. It just looked kind of funny. The map is open world, but it's a small and contained area, much like Bully's map is. In fact, here are some of these similarities to Bully. The map is small and open, you ride a bike as a main means of transportation, you go to school and take classes, you have main missions and side missions similar to Bully, such as mowing a lawn. There's various missions about perverts or stealing girls' underwear. You can go to the bike shop and buy a new bike. If you don't go to bed at a certain time, your character will pass out and wake up the next day right where they are. The people at school will chase you if you're missing class. You can buy things to throw at people like eggs and firecrackers, and so on. It truly is a lesser clone of Bully, but I don't fully dislike it. Bully has an outdated engine, graphics, and on PC it kinda sucks to play. I had to install several mods to get it working decently, but then I had crashing issues when I did that. Bully really needs a remaster or a second game. Anyways, your character moves to a new town, which is called Agefield, and there's only a few months left of his senior year. You live in a house with your mother and sister, and you can sleep in the bed in your room. You really only need to go there for sleep and for some missions. The whole game is just missions and classes. You can go to various stores, but none of them sell too many items. Since you're in high school and a male, the focus seems to be primarily girls. I stole a girl's underwear, I played guitar outside one's house, and I caught a teacher spying on girls. Bully was more of taking over the school. It seems more like getting through school while trying to focus on girls. At least 2 hours in, it seems that way. It could shift later on. The fighting in this game is not great, and I found it clunky on mouse and keyboard. Anytime a fight sequence began, I just hoped to get it over with and not get knocked out. You do have an inventory, and you can buy candy and soda that'll go in there, and you can find some other items too. It is a limited inventory, but honestly I never had a need to take or drink anything, so it's kind of an afterthought. There is also some random collectibles that you can find, like a pie. I found like 5 of those. I did find myself getting a bit bored as I played though. The missions and background music just did not catch my attention a lot. This game is priced at $30 USD, and I don't think it's worth that. On Steam, Bully is $15, and while that game is a bit dated, it is better. Overall, I don't hate this game, but it's not great. I can see some people liking this, but I think most people will either dislike it or just not care about it. I did expect a bit more, and I hoped for a bit more, but it's just a bit underwhelming to me, though that's my personal opinion. Whether or not this is your type of game, I'll see you on the next one.